Alexa and I have a plan. We're starting in Yerevan, the capital of Armenia, but we're on a mission. Our destination? Dilijan National Park. Our goal? To hike some of the most amazing trails in the Lesser Caucasus, see monasteries that look like they're straight out of a history book, and, the best part, we're glamping in a unique spot right next to a river. This is the ultimate Armenian road trip, and you're coming along for the ride. I'm Geoff.
And I'm Alexa.
Together, we're exploring the history and geography of the world, one place at a time.
Hot. All right. Oh, that is a tight fit. And if this parking lot is anything like the rest of Armenia, this little road trip might be quite the adventure. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but a little while ago, Alexa and I drove all around Bosnia and Herzegovina. We've also done a number of road trips through Costa Rica and Taiwan, and then Australia and New Zealand. Each country provides its own challenge, and I have a feeling there's something waiting for us. But in order to figure out what that challenge is going to be, we gotta hit the road. Okay, so Alexa and I are officially about an hour or so into our road trip, and it's mostly been uneventful, thankfully. A little traffic getting out of Yerevan, a little people, sort of swishing their way into my lane without me really knowing, but overall, a lot better than Bosnia. One thing that I found that was really interesting that the person that we're renting this car from told me is that 80% of Armenia's cars come from the United States. And the reason why I know that this car specifically came from the United States is because it's in miles per hour, not kilometers. Armenia, of course, uses kilometers like most of the rest of the world. The US uses miles per hour, of course. The reason for this is because Armenia is a huge aftermarket for used vehicles from the United States. There's an entire industry designed around importing used and slightly damaged and salvaged title cars from the United States into Armenia. And so that's the majority way that they end up getting all of their cars. So as we see cars go by us, chances are it's from the United States as well. The geography at play here is fascinating because it's not like these are manufactured in the US and shipped here brand new, right? They're still manufactured somewhere else, sent to the United States, driven around for a while, then imported into Armenia where Armenians now drive them. It's just a weird little odd quirk that I had no idea existed until now.
Once we left Yerevan, the landscape changed instantly, shifting from the big city to wide open rural land. The first thing we noticed was just how dry everything was. And as we're heading to Dilijan, our base for the next few nights, we spotted a detour for Lake Sevan. We just had to check it out, except we had no idea what it would take to actually get close to that massive lake.
Whew. Oh wow, it's windy. We made it to Lake Sevan. We stopped on a longer drive to see Armenia's largest lake, and it's huge. It's actually also one of the largest lakes in all of the Caucasus, so you can see that while you're here. It's also very windy.
Don't make unnecessary journeys.
Not exactly jumping in the water, weather or conditions right now.
What's most incredible is that it's not just windy, but it's significantly cooler than Yerevan here. Like, if I had my jacket on, I wouldn't be disappointed right now. We were supposed to go to a monastery here off of Lake Sevan, but as we pulled up into it, the traffic was crazy. There was like no parking. There was nobody guiding where to park. If I was Armenian, I'd probably know the etiquette around parking a little bit more, but I don't. So frankly, it was not really worth the stress. So we sort of just turned right around. We're like, we'll see other monasteries on this trip.
There is no shortage of seeing monasteries while in Armenia.
No, absolutely not. The place is lousy with monasteries. Well, lovely stop at Lake Sevan, but this isn't our destination. So it's time for us to hit the road again.
We're on our way to Dilijan, and we just went through maybe one of the longest tunnels I've ever been through. But before we went through the tunnel, it was really dry. Yeah, there was Lake Savon, but it was warm and dry. The second we left the tunnel, it was like we are in a whole other area. There's green, forest, the mountains are really big. So interesting. Makes me really excited to see this national park.
What a change! As we drove towards Dilijan, the scenery transformed. That dry, dusty landscape gave way to lush forests. We were just swallowed up by these giant trees and incredible mountains. It turns out Dilijan has this reputation as Armenia's green oasis. It's the country's go-to spot to escape the brutal summer heat. And that's exactly our plan. We're glamping here for the next few nights, and honestly, we can't wait for this cooler weather.
Welcome to our glamping home in Dilijan. I'll start with saying this place is straight up vibes. It is so cute, and I am blocking the best part of it, this huge window with a view of the river. But let's show off our little spot. So we've got 2 beds, one little one slightly bigger one, the very sturdy bed.
It was actually kind of uncomfortable.
Right above me is the air conditioning, so we will be able to stay cool. It's not that hot here, but it'll be nice to have air conditioning. Slide the door this way. We have a shower, and I just love the wooden details. There's a lot of wood all over, but it's super cute. You come over here, we have our little mini kitchen, so we'll be able to cook up some breakfast and some dinner. We've got a small mini refrigerator. That's just the sink. The sink, plenty of storage, great little table. I think Geoff and I are going to play cribbage tonight, and this will be a fun spot to do it. Lots of seating. There's not a lot of space for our suitcases, so they will likely just stay in the car. But for 2 nights, this is a perfect little glamping spot.
All right, while Alexa makes a quick run out to the car, I'm gonna try and get us set up here so that groceries are in the right place. Then we have to go find an ATM because we have to pay for this place because they do not take cards. Then we're gonna do, I think, a short little hike somewhere nearby. Maybe we'll see a lake, maybe we'll see some old monasteries. Yeah, we'll see. It's still pretty early. It's only about 3 p.m., so I'm not quite ready to settle in for the day.
A few moments later.
Okay, now we have officially got our money, which is nice and crisp and blue.
Blue.
And I appreciate that they gave it to me in smaller bills when I asked for 100,000 dram, I think is what it's called. Now we can officially pay for our glamping spot. But before we do that, we're gonna go on a quick hike to go see some, well, they look like kind of dilapidated monasteries, but that's more interesting than all the brand new monasteries, so.
Of course, the main reason we're here in Dilijan is to get out and hike. This whole area is a national park, one of only 4 in Armenia. It's a massive 34,000 hectare forest that's been protected since the 1950s. The trail system here is incredible. It's even part of the Trans-Caucasian Trail, the long route that connects this whole region. We're not that ambitious, but we've got some amazing hikes lined up for the next few days.
They left without me. They do this every year. Why?
All right, well, first hike here in Dilijan. Interesting beginning. Now, remember in the beginning of the episode when I said that I didn't know what Armenia's roads were gonna throw at us? Now I do. And that is to say, they're not much roads at all, especially while we're here in the national park. But we made it, even though we have a little car and not a 4-wheel drive vehicle. And hopefully we see something cool. But either way, we've been in a car for a long time, so it's just nice to get out and get some steps in. Somehow I don't think our car would have made it. We may have found a new nemesis after our traumatizing ordeal in the Australian outback with flies. We are once again being swarmed with, I guess, Armenian bush flies? I don't know. The difference here though is that sometimes they bite. Not hard, but enough.
We started on the Medieval Monasteries Trail and made it to our first stop, GeoLex. This place is ancient, built back in the 11th and 12th centuries, and we were just blown away by how intact it all is. We spent some time exploring the two churches, taking in all the beautiful stone arches and the classic domed roofs. A little dark in there. I have an irrational fear of bats.
Alexa's a little worried about bats, which I think to her credit, this place is dark and feels like there would be a bat near or two. And there's this altar here, and you can see that even though this is from hundreds of years ago, people are still using it. So you can see like a picture of the Mother Mary, whatever that last feast meal thing is that Jesus was a part of. I don't know, I'm not a Christian, but it's very cool to see that people are still coming here and using it for its intended purpose. The history, man.
So the two monasteries that we first stopped at here on our hike were both built in the 1200s, but that was a long time ago. So they have been reconstructed. Reconstruction happened around the 1970s.
All right, well, one old ruined monastery down.
One more to go.
Shouldn't have as much energy that
Let's
time.
do it again. One more to go.
All right, we know we're on the right trail here because there's a little trail marker over here at the beginning of this grassy section, which I'm also remembering that the guide for this trail said that there was they got ticks or something here. So I am wearing shorts, and that is typically not the smartest of things to do, but what's the worst that could happen, huh?
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
This trail is pretty gnarly. It's all like kind of muddy. It's like a big old Jeep came wrangling through here. Oh, nope, don't want to do that. Woof, muddy. Almost just sank right on in.
The forest here is so beautiful. The camera's not going to do it justice, but this is so pretty.
All right, well, I made it across. Not the sturdiest of bridges, but I did all right. Alexa's gonna try a different way because unlike my shoes, hers are not waterproof. So had I fallen in, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
All right, still on our short hike for the day, the path to the second monastery cut straight through the forest. But, of course, it wasn't that easy. We ran into a few small challenges along the way. Getting a little lost on the trail. Not as clearly marked in all sections, so yeah. Update, Geoff found the trail marker. He is the one that does all of the navigating on our hikes, when we're walking, just about all times. I'm not to be trusted.
In case you really need to go. There's flies all over my camera. They're blocking the lens. Assholes. At long last, we have made it to the second monastery, and it looks less rebuilt, if I can be honest. So we're gonna go climb all around it. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure this means 13th century, because the other one, which we know was built in the 12th century, had a 12 and then the Armenian characters there. So this one might actually be a little bit newer, but in much worse condition.
And Geoff was right. We made it to Monasteries Monastery. It's from the 13th century, but wow, what a contrast to the last one. Unlike GeoLex, this place is totally unrestored. It's all ruined, but that almost made it cooler. We still found so much to explore.
As usual, I'm forced to be the guinea pig, the resident bat checker. But it also means that I get to see everything first. Wow, this is so incredible. This is less Christian and more like Celtic markings from like Ireland, like the old Gaelic religions. Bizarre. I'm guessing, my only guess is that when this was created as a monastery, they intentionally put in pagan, Celtic, Gaelic, whatever the Armenian version of that was, symbols as a way to help the conversion process.
Very pretty cross. Wooden, viney. Ooh.
This must have been where the altar was, because you can see people have, you know, there's a picture of the Mother Mary again and some other Christian things. Obviously it's not here anymore. There's not a whole lot that's actually, you know, here left aside from the stones. This one is obviously in much worse condition. It wasn't rebuilt, as Alexa said, which makes me think that unless it gets rebuilt soon, I'm not sure how much longer it's actually gonna be standing up, because it is in rough shape. Just close that. Whoa! Almost pulled me back in. Some ghost stuff.
Run. I would say run.
Just as we're about to leave, we see this Jeep, this old Jeep pull up. I don't know how it got up here. These are rough roads, I should say.
I think we should try it with a sedan.
Yes, we would get absolutely nowhere. We got about as far as we could go.
Yeah, we were pushing it.
I've never really done off-roading before, at least not like, you know, real off-roading. I've been on dirt roads. I guess it's possible, but I look at these roads that I'm walking down and I'm like, there's no way a car can get over it. But then clearly one is. Not quickly, mind you, but it seems to be doing okay. Alexa, should we get an off-road vehicle?
I'm gonna say maybe not.
No.
Boring. Boring.
Thankfully, this go around, we have well, more of a bridge. Still rickety though. Ooh. Oh boy.
Made it.
We've made it back to our car. We did it. Alexa. Now, if you can believe it, today's hike was just the warm-up.
Oh boy.
Tomorrow's hike is going to be a lot grander.
And harder.
Correct!
For now, we got to get this car all the way back out of this road of sorts. So that's the next adventure.
We were about to call it a day, but on the way back to the cabin, we decided to make one more quick stop.
So there's like what appears to be an old resort of sorts. Like clearly it's Russian, because it's all Russian up there. So wild. I mean, at some point this was lively. There was things happening here. I mean, look, there's even like a pool down here, and it's just not used anymore. Probably from when the Soviet Union collapsed would be my guess, based on all of the Russian. Normally I'd go and explore a little bit more, but in this case, there's some very big signs that say video surveillance. So I'm gonna pass for now, but still cool. Glad I stopped.
We made it back to our little glamping spot, so we're gonna call it a night. We have a long day tomorrow. See you then. Good morning. After a good night's sleep, we are off bright and early to start our day. Today we're going on a big hike. Once again, there will be monasteries. It wouldn't be Armenia without them, but we are gonna get some epic views of Dilijan National Park. But first, we gotta get there.
Everything I've read about the hike that Alexa and I are gonna be doing today suggests that this is a real butt kicker.
Ow.
Oh boy.
Ow. Leggings don't help. Ah!
A lot of elevation gain really quickly. But we're both relatively fit people. We hike a lot in the Pacific Northwest. And so we'll see what Armenia has in store for us, but I'm pretty excited.
Our morning drive to the trailhead was another reminder of how beautiful Dilijan is. As we headed up into the mountains, we drove through the massive forest and passed more cows just roaming in the road. Before we knew it, we were at the trailhead, and there was almost no one there.
All right, we have made it to where we're starting our hike today, and if you look behind us, it's some monastery. We'll talk about it later. We're ending with the monastery today. We're not doing the monastery now because it's still relatively early, and that means it's still relatively cool. It won't get too hot today, but the sun is beating down on us already, and so we want to start this hike right now because, like I mentioned already, it's going to be a butt kicker. So you guys will see that in a little bit. A long while for us, but a little bit for you guys. Just like yesterday, I'm so impressed that any vehicle can go over these, I don't know, I guess you can call it a road. Okay, so we've been hiking for, I don't know, 30 minutes now, and it's basically all uphill. Anyways, I kind of know the general path that the trail makes. Where we're hiking to is this really tall hill up here. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 80% sure. 80% sure, yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
Beautiful views, but our fly friends are definitely back. A fork in the road here, let me check the map. And on that note, big thank you to Hike Armenia, which is kind of like an all trails, but for just hikes in Armenia. And so they have like maps and you can sort of do navigation. People leave reviews. It's very, very helpful. Oh, and it's free. We have no partnership with them. There's no compensation. They don't even know who we are, but tremendously useful.
Okay, we knew this hike was going to be hard, but we had no idea just how uphill it was. Seriously, it was a climb. And on top of that, we were getting swarmed by bugs. The one saving grace, the view. We were completely surrounded by the forest, tons of wildflowers, and these amazing mountains in the distance. And just when we thought we were through the worst of it, it was about to get even harder.
At this point, our hiking trail is not as well maintained. It's a little bit rough. You can still see it. But yeah, we're definitely climbing over some plants and stuff. Ah, and I got something stuck on me.
You what?
Help is on the way, dear!
12 seconds later.
And can confirm the trail has become less well maintained.
Well, you didn't have to do that big step.
Don't step on random rocks. They are not always sturdy. Goodbye, white shoes. So we're here in August, so, you know, end of summer. We had read some reviews that in April, May, June, when spring is starting, there's so many wildflowers. Even though it's still the end of summer, there are still wildflowers. You can see some butterflies that are really beautiful.
All right, we are a little less than halfway to our, well, ending spot. I think I mentioned at the beginning of this is all uphill. So it's time for a water break, shade break, and a bug break, because if you can't see them on screen, just know there's probably a million flies swarming me right now, including on the camera. All right, our trail has gotten infinitely more rough. I mean, there are thorns, there's barely a trail to speak of, which I know Alexa has already mentioned, but it's gotten worse since then, if you can believe it. Under normal circumstances, just given how rough this is, and for safety's sake, I would almost just, I'm stuck. I would almost just call it and take us back, because, you know, you just never know. Better safe than sorry. But we are almost to what looks like a road.
Ow. Ow.
So the trail was getting too overgrown, and so we've opted to sort of scale more of a hill here to get up to the road that I think is there. But I will say it's very strenuous, and at some point we do have to go back down, which is something to that we need to keep in mind, because getting through a lot of that bush was just about one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in terms of hiking or, you know, going bushwhacking. As usual, the flies don't make it easier. And I made it to the road. It's the most beautiful sight. And
the road.
That was some type 2 fun right there. Maybe type 2 for me. Maybe type negative for Alexa.
Yeah, that was hard.
But we're on the road again. But wow, I just can't emphasize enough. If you decide to do a hike here in Armenia, first, get that Hike Armenia app. And 2, If you're accustomed to trails in Europe, Canada, the United States, especially some of the more popular trails that are well maintained, it's different here in Armenia. That was technically a trail, it just hasn't been kept up, and so it's completely overgrown. But as always, we do this so that you guys don't have to.
After a lot of struggle, we finally finished that messy, unmaintained part of the trail, only to face more uphill climbing. We were just trying to get to the summit, hoping for a good view of the national park. And when we finally made it, let's just say we earned every second of that break at the top.
The sun exposure, man, it is real. Thankfully, it's not super hot, even though the sun is bright. If this was closer to Yerevan, we'd be dealing with 90+ degree temperatures. Here, it's in the low 70s. Doesn't make it easier though. Well, actually it kind of does. It's a heck of a view. Just don't think the camera's doing it enough justice though. So you guys are gonna have to take our word for it. Maybe we scrabble up this way. Scrabble, scrabble, scrabble up. Up and up and up.
I wanna go home. I don't wanna, I wanna go home!
So we're getting pretty close to the top. And now it's just like, I mean, it's been uphill this entire way almost. It's like the final boss, you know? A real steep incline. It is a trail or a road of sorts, but it is pure uphill. Not for the weak of legs. We made it. Oh my God. Wow. These views, stunning. A lot of elevation gain. I think about 3,000 feet. It's not taking us up to the very top here. I don't think there's any trail that will take you up there, so you might need to do more hiking or camping or something like that, but incredible.
Oh my God. Wow, this is incredible. So worth it.
Now technically, this trail is not an in and out. So you can keep going and it'll connect back to the town of Dilijan. This is usually the view that people come for though. That's what they do this hike for. And originally this trail was a pilgrimage from the town of Dilijan to Highlands Monastery, which is back down that way, yep. This is where we're gonna call it and start our hike back down.
And we still need to check out the monastery.
Still need to check out the monastery for you guys. So we're gonna have a couple bananas and then have a little bit of water, and then we'll give a little montage for you guys on our way back down. But it won't be nearly as eventful because it's all downhill.
Thank goodness.
Going downhill still isn't easy.
Remember, if you start slipping sliding down this thing, fall on your butt.
But it was a welcome break from all that climbing. We avoided the unmaintained trail on the way down and made it back to the trailhead much faster. But before we head out, we still need to check out one last monastery.
We made it. We can see the monastery. What a beautiful sight.
Woohoo!
All right, so here's the deal, guys. We're very tired.
Oh yeah.
And so we're gonna quickly show you guys Highlands Monastery, because it is legitimately beautiful.
It is very pretty and with such an amazing like scenery around it.
Yeah.
But after 5 miles of mostly uphill.
Hard hiking. We're gonna keep it quick, so let's do it. There's just so many people here.
And they didn't hike up.
They did not hike up, yeah, they drove up. Like, well, so did we then, technically.
Yeah.
Highlands Monastery was the perfect reward. After that brutal hike, walking in here felt like finding a different world. It's this incredible mix of old and new. It dates all the way back to the 10th century, but got a major restoration in 2011. It's made up of 3 churches, and we were just struck by how beautiful the architecture was.
Now, you can't go inside, but everybody else is all dressed really nice.
And we're not dressed as nice. We look like we just hiked 5 miles.
We look gross. A door that even Alexa has to duck to get through. That's how you know this is a small door. We have an Alexa for scale. Man, these old monasteries are incredible. They're not castles, but similar vibes, you know? I'm glad we got here early because this parking is now a madhouse and we are going to bugger on out.
We have made it back to our glamping spot. Showered, feels so much better. Today was hard, but it was so much fun. Loved seeing Dilijan Forest, the national park, the beautiful mountainscapes. Epic hike, even if it was a little bit challenging. Really, it's just preparing us for an even harder hike that we are doing in just a few weeks. We will be hiking the French Alps. But before that, we are still in Armenia and we're going to be going south. And you guessed it, we're going to see some more monasteries and some other cool things. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe and come back next week for another adventure. See you then.
Yeah.
I'm stuck.
So, oh, damn it. The 12th and 13th century. Why is that so hard to say?
Are you proud of me? I came in.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
The magic of filmmaking. And we look like we keep it going. Bah, bug in my eye.